have the same humility of the guy who got cut from the team. So, dog, Will, like Cody, like you can imagine when I got cut from the King team, I was so privileged just to be there. I would dive on the floor. If coach told me to do something, I did everything to the best of my ability. So it's the biggest blessing in disguise. So no difference when it comes to broadcasting. I work like I'm an intern. I want to find out how the dude behind the board works during radio. I want to find out why the cameraman holds the camera like that. Like, so I just ask a million different questions. Or I always try to go and find stuff out because that was ingrained in me from basketball. And you'll see, for me, it's the same hustle. Now I'm competing with you because I want to sound better than you, or I want to be good. I really want to learn my craft. Or when someone tells me that I can't do something, it really just drives me crazy to be able to do more.
Competitors, bro. We want to compete at everything. Like, I want to be the best at everything I do. It don't matter. And I feel like you got to have that mindset. If you don't got that mindset, you won't be successful at what you're doing. And that's anything. I ain't talking about sports. I'm talking about past broadcasting.
Facts.
I'm talking about just life in general. Like, you got to think that you're the best. And if you don't think that you're the best, you got to know that you can be the best at some point. Like, so that's how I try to go about things too, bro. For sure.
Absolutely, man.
So when you start hitting your growth spurts, bro? Like, when you start getting like that NBA hype?
So my freshman year, as I said earlier, I was 6'2". By the end of the year, I was 6'5". So I made the summer team. This is all like in the same school year. They're like, dog, did you grow 3 inches? Like, that's crazy. Then I came back on JV and I was 6'7". So within that year, it's a 5-inch jump. And then I went from 6'7" to like 6'10". And it was even crazier. I'm a late developer, right? So I still look like a little baby out there, like a kid. I get to college, bro. I grew another inch in college. And Cody, you talked about track and field. It's funny, people in the draft were like, oh, he's a track athlete. He's a track guy. They didn't do their darn homework. You would think in the billion-dollar industry, some of these scouts would do their homework. At the end of basketball season, you got nothing to do. And my homeboy was like messing around with me. And he was like, hey, come out and high jump. I bet I could do better than you. I'm like, dog, I'm better than you. There's no way. You're you know what I'm saying? Just your partner, you know? I messed around to end up being good at it. I PR every week. I take third in the state in triple jump as a 7-footer.
Dang,
6'11" at the time. So tallest guy to ever do that. Because what happened, bro, and you know this, you know probably a lot of track guys you play with, you develop, and a lot of former football players that do track, they develop how to run. And you can see them run like, oh, you ran track.
100%.
Like Chris Johnson. You know, you can probably name a number of guys. So for me, for a basketball player, I learned how to jump. So I'm 7 feet tall, triple jumper and a high jumper. Next thing, bro, I got back in the gym. Boom, I'm banging on cats. Like, bro, like I would jump. As a basketball player, you jump just high enough to dunk the basketball. But as a track athlete, you jump to explode over the bar or explode into the pit. Yeah. So when I came back and then I jumped at UCLA, it was freaky the way I was jumping because I unlocked this athletic ability that I had dormant, but I finally learned how to use it.
For sure. Yeah, I definitely can see how it could like transfer over to basketball. I mean, of course, running, you think about a lot of runners in football. Like I remember, for instance, Cody's dad was my high school football coach. Well, Cody's dad's also telling everybody that plays on his football team, every skilled person, big, little, like don't matter, run track with me in the spring. It's going to make you faster. He'd tell our running backs, like, you know what I'm saying? We had a few running backs in high school. Like we had speed at first, and then towards my later years, we lost some of the speed. They went out and ran track. They had some of the best years of their football season in that year, all because of the track. Like, and of course, my big ass wasn't out there running like them. Like, you know, I didn't get all my stuff from the track, but it did teach me discipline. It teach me little things. Like I had to make sure every day I was showing up at practice as a shot put discus thrower, bro. But I knew I had to run my 2 laps of warm up every time before I go throw. You know, it was a discipline thing for me. So,
and you probably got a different, bro. Listen, at UCLA, strongest people in the school was the throwers by far. I come because I thought I was a football player, dog. Like for real, you know, some people think I for real thought I was a football player. I'll be in there lifting with them, all skinny, lifting with the football team, like in there with the wide receivers, like. Mercedes Lewis, Maurice Jones-Drew, all them boys. I'm in there. Drew Olson, I'm in there lifting with them, dog, at least trying to. And, like, I just remember, like, bro, like, I would see the football team lift and I would see the throwers. And the throwers would be doing crazy weight. I'm like, yo, what the heck? Like
crazy bro, overhead press. Like,
yeah, bro. Yeah.
That's crazy, yo. That's actually crazy. So, like, what was football for you? Like, talk about your little career with football some. Just mention that to us. You play in high school?
Yeah, I never played in high school.
Okay.
But it's weird. Like, you know how some people's minds work? My mind works like a football player.
Word.
People don't know. In head-to-head seasons, I was the number 1 ranked player in Madden this year. Head-to-head season. So, like, I'm not a professional, but I can beat professional Madden players.
For sure.
Like, I really, really play, but, like, my mind works. My mind doesn't work like basketball. My mind works like Madden. Like, my mind works like, hey, 2 + 2 = 4. Like, this play to this play. You know, I'm hearing little posts and slants and all kind of plays in my head and running plays and all overloads and zone blitzes. Like, that's how my mind works. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm not a pro, but, like, that's where my mind goes. And, like, for me, just the football players, I always got along with them at UCLA because it was my partners in there. You know, like, some of the other basketball players wouldn't really live, and they would see me in there improving my body and working hard because I was also the guy that got told that if you don't get bigger, you're not going to make it to the league. So I made it a point to be like, man, if that's the only thing keeping me from the league, I'm going to go work my butt off in the weight room and get stronger. But in the process of doing that, I'm watching Mercedes Lewis go from, 6'7", 245 pounds to 265 pounds of muscle. I'm seeing Mercedes.
Yeah, he played for the Jags, bro. That's all they talk about here is Mercedes, dog. Like, Mercedes was the GOAT, bro. Like,
bro.
Talking about you playing with him just tells me how, like, your mindset, bro, because people tell me Mercedes has that mindset, bro. Like, I won't be beat, bro. And he's like, bro, this dude is a tight end, but he blocked like a tackle.
I played basketball with him and against him. In high school, we used to play basketball against each other. And at UCLA, he played for 1 year. People don't know that. But
was good?
Yeah, Mercedes will cross you and go bang on you.
Word up.
Cross you and go bang on you. And then in high school, they used to split them out at wide receiver, hit line up at wide receiver, burn DBs, and go maul somebody.
Run right past them.
Mercedes was so good. If he ever got with no disrespect, but like an Aaron Rodgers, he's with Aaron too late now. It's too late. For sure. But if in his prime, he had one of those, he was so much better than what's my man Jimmy Graham. He was so much better than Jimmy. Like he'll be able to do all those same things if he had a Drew Brees. Like he was built different. But when I watched him in a weight room when he was young, he was a big guy. He's 6'7", 240 pounds. Then he goes 6'7", 265 pounds.
Yeah.
So now he went from being like, dang, that's a big dude right there, to like, oh, damn, like that's what an NFL player looks like.
Good weight, too, like muscle.
Yeah, bro. And then I remember Maurice Jones-Drew. Maurice breaks the record at UCLA for rushing. It's his third year, and Maurice enters the draft because it's like, bro, like you have to. You're a smaller back. They're not going to punt you no more. He's housing stuff. He comes back on one. Not just that, he played for the most storied high school football franchise, like not modern day, but Bishop, I forget his school, but like Bishop he comes in like a main – bro, ask about the high school legends of Maurice Jones-Drew. He used to wear a little dark visor. Listen, Brody, that boy was cold.
I still see to this day. He still pull up to the stadium. Like, and it's crazy talking about two dudes from the Jags, like – two old individuals, dog. Maurice Jones-Drew walked into our building the same day, and he's still like this, every bit of 5'6". Like, hey, bro. But I promise you, he will run straight through you.
I got a Maurice Jones-Drew jersey. I should have brought my jersey, dog. Look, you got a second, I'll go grab it from upstairs. But, bro, when he went into the draft, he's 5'6". Whatever he started doing with his workouts, I swear to God, he went like this. I've never seen somebody balloon sideways with their – and he was already swole. Really? And then he went out and ran the fastest time at the combine. People forget that. Reggie Bush was supposed to be the speed demon. Reggie Bush is one of most elite athletes we've ever seen play college football. He was reversing field on boys like it was Pop Warner.
Yeah.
Reggie Bush he's a human highlight reel. He's arguably the most electric football player at the running back position we have ever seen play college football. Facts. Go look up Reggie Bush, any of these young boys who don't know. Sure. Maurice Jones-Drew outruns him and has a Hall of Fame career. Oh. Maurice Jones-Drew. And Maurice was different, bro. He was different. And like, for me, those guys don't understand. They're a part of me making it to the league. I watched them in Mercedes senior year. Is it Drew Olson? I think if Drew Olson was our quarterback. I watched every single game. Bro, we were down 21 points to Washington State in the fourth quarter. I go to every football game because I'm rocking with the football. I think I'm a football player, Will. Cody, I think I'm a football player. I'm at all the games, right? These boys came back from 21 down against Washington State, and I'm like, dang, bro, like senior year, you got to put on. Like, I'm watching them. It was one of the most exciting seasons I have ever watched. I'm watching them put on and then go to the league. Then I go into my season, it ain't going as well. But I just had this thing in the back of my mind, like, nah, it's time. You done watched all your homeboys eat and do what they got to do and train for the draft and all that. So it's like iron sharpens iron, you know. But I was a fan. I was there watching it. You know, my hometown is Pasadena, so Rose Bowl. I would go back home, go to Rose Bowl, but I watched every single game. Every game.
Oh, that's crazy, dog. That's crazy. I didn't know you was that big of a fan of football, bro. That's awesome, though, for real.
Like a for real fan. Like, I don't know if you saw, like, I got a chance to sit down with Deion Sanders lately and, like, oh, man. Bro, I was a kid in a candy store. I was like, that's the best thing I've ever done in broadcasting.
Word up. That's like I said, bro, just like the doors it opens for you, like it's crazy, bro. Just like sports in general. And it's so crazy how, you know, they always compare basketball, football, baseball, basketball, and golf, and all these sports they compare, but we all kind of have that one common thing, you know. It's just like that life revolves around our sport, but not only that, but like we're also humans. You feel me? And that's the biggest thing. Like, you know, we have our ups and downs and we have our trials and tribulations, but at the end of the day, like we more than just sports players for sure.
So Ryan, you touched on it a little bit. Talk about that, you know, making the Final Four while you were at UCLA. Were you on the team that y'all played Florida, right?
We played Florida.
Because I'm a Gator fan, man. That's my squad.
You look like a Gator fan, Cody. You look like a Gator fan, Cody.
First off, Ryan, why'd you pick UCLA first, though? Like, talk about that song first.
UCLA was always my dream school. And when I went to UCLA, when I wanted to go to UCLA, they didn't want me. I'll never forget Coach Gerald Mackins came to one of my games. I tried to show out, bro. No letter, no love, no response, no nothing. I'm waiting for him. Coach Lorenzo Romar, who's the head coach at Pepperdine, but at that time was a coach at St. Louis. This dude does everything right, bro. I signed with Coach Romar out of high school, so I was actually going to St. Louis. Signed, still committed to St. Louis. Coach Romar gets out of his deal, goes to Washington. At that time, I'm a late bloomer, bro. So I go off my senior year. I'm dunking everything. I'm tall. I'm running the floor. They're like, yo, who is this guy? Like, where did he come from? I'm supposed to go to Washington. At the last second, UCLA comes out the blue. Now, keep in mind, it was Washington or UCLA. My mindset was go pro. Washington, I'll never forget, their team was just, man, average at the time. They tell me a story. They say, hey, we got this guy who's supposed to be coming to the school. He's only 5'9", but he runs track. He's an all-state hurdler. He plays football. He's going to do 2 sports here. He's an all-state cornerback.
Had to be Nate. Had to be Nate.
And in basketball, he's an all-state basketball player too, Nate Robinson. And he can do – hold on. He's a 5'9" dude who can do any dunk you want to see. I'm like, yeah, right, man. That sounds good. I don't know about that. It sounds good, right? We're going to be really good. And then, hey, there's this other guy. He's not going to be eligible when we start the season. He had a little bit of knee problems, but he can really score it. I don't think he's ready for the NBA yet, but, you know, I think he could be. We'll see how he pans out. Brandon Roy. So I couldn't see any of this there, but the coaches are trying to tell me, like, you know, we're going to be pretty good. Like, you're going to be the missing piece. So I ended up not going. I signed to UCLA just because I felt like, even though they didn't fool with me, it's business now. Because